Hey everyone, today we are going to be going over another one of my projects. This is Zach from Clarity Design Studio. And last time we went over one of my projects called Mirror. This is going to be another one called Healthy with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we are on my website here, and I just want to go over kind of how I structured this project and talk a little bit more about it. So here we have in the top a little bit of a mock-up, one with a black and white outline of iPhone to show the app in its place. So I've titled this Healthy and Blue Cross Blue Shield, Putting the Health in Your Hands. So we talk a little bit about the summary here. The client for this one was an academic project from Design Lab again, but the client was Healthy and Blue Cross Blue Shield. So Healthy is a company that I came up with, but obviously Blue Cross Blue Shield is real. And I kind of gave it that validity and partnership to make the branding easier for me. The goal here was to develop an application where people can manage their health information. So what I did for it was the user research, the low fidelity wireframes, high fidelity wireframes, prototype creation and testing, and this all took me about 2 weeks. So again, we start with the introduction. We talk a little bit about what Healthy is. I talk about healthcare being really difficult to manage, especially in America. If you go to the doctor once a year, if you go all the time, there's managing prescriptions and appointments and your records and everything. It's important that your health is always on the top of your mind, though. And normally people don't just have one doctor, you sort of have a team. And this product from Blue Cross was to keep your team in one place. So electronic health records, or EHR, but for the patient. So if you don't know, EHR is designed to be an all-inclusive portal for all of your doctors. I know, it sounds like a good idea, right? Well, the issue is because it's expensive to set up and not every doctor is going to be in doing this. It's going to be difficult for it to work the way it's intended. So the task, like I said, was to develop an app that helps the user manage their health records and other information. This is to give the user access to all pertinent information wherever they go. A lot of people keep their records in a file cabinet or a computer folder, but if you're in an emergency, you need this information on your person, and this is where Healthy comes in. I talk about the research next. The research involved me interviewing about 5 participants, 23 to 40, trying to get people who obviously take care of themselves or go to the doctor or take care of other people in the doctor's office. The most common answer to when I asked what the most frustrating part of going to the doctor was wait time. And misdiagnoses was another big pain point. So also surprise tests and other unplanned scenarios. I was really trying to get to the core of the pain points that a lot of people are experiencing. I obviously know what bothers me when I go to the doctor, but I wanted to hear it from other people too, to give my research a purpose. As far as changing the medical care services, they wanted to cut down wait times and make it easier to access the information. Perfect. And I asked them to use some adjectives to describe the medical care system today. They use things like scary and slow, time-consuming, cold, very clinical, not involved, nice environment. But in an ideal setting, they wanted things to be quick and supportive and empathetic as well. So that's kind of my goal here, was to create this product to give it more of that feel. Moving on to the definition phase, I did 2 personas because I wanted to explore the user's journey from 2 different viewpoints. One persona is a single user, that would be Benjamin over here, and the other is the mother who has to manage records not only for herself, but for her family as well. So Sandy. Now, if you don't know, personas are, images into the user. These are fake people, but they're made from real insights. So each person has some traits, story, their goals and frustrations, so you can get an idea of who your customer is and who your user is, so who you're designing for. I also created a storyboard, because this was really important for this project. It allowed me to represent how a potential user could discover the product and how it would fit into their life. So in the storyboard, I'll go over it real quick. This is a woman, Sandy, who's a mom of two. She takes her kids to the doctor routinely, and she's very good about keeping her records in the file cabinet at home. One day they're on vacation, her child gets injured. Then they go to the hospital, and the doctor asks her about a previous test or a medication that he took. She doesn't really remember the exact dosage or the date provided from the medical scenarios. But when she gets home again, she gets the Healthy app and doesn't forget it ever again. And now she can stay focused on what matters to her, helping her kids in their well-being, and her records are safe and accessible at all times. So this is also a user flow here that I decided to do as well. Shows how the user gets from the main screen and what they're looking to accomplish. Went with a key at the top to make it more legible. So from the App Store, an Instagram ad, or a launch app, this is how the user would get through. Design. So now that I know what I needed to create, what screens were most important, I did some low fidelity wireframes. Did this for some visual hierarchy, also to arrange the information and try to get the users to complete their tasks as easy as possible. So we have a summary page, a profile page, a doctor's management page, and a doctor's profile page as well. After that, I like to go to the UI kit, add UI elements to make those wireframes really come to life and change any other things that I need to. So I kept with the Blue Cross guidelines. I use the same blue and the same typography as they do as well, which allowed me to, like I said, streamline the whole UI process. These are just some photos that I took from the internet to use as examples in my mock-ups. Then we have some high fidelity wireframes once all the elements are wrapped together. So here's some screens, the login page and onboarding, choosing your profile. This is an example of someone with a family, your health summary page, a doctor's page, and managing your records and data page. So here's the test. This is the prototype that I came up with here, kind of showing you how it would work, viewing the doctor's contact info, as well as adding medical records to your data. So in this case, someone is scanning some new test results, taking a picture of it, and it scans it right into the app securely. Now in the profile setting, there also, you'll notice some dietary restrictions, conditions. Every person in each family has their recent readings, their own set of doctors, and information that goes along with those things. After I did some testing on the prototype, there was a lot of features I wanted to include and things that could go in after beta. So I created a recommendation deck. So some things like here were some more clickable buttons, medical record access, full access to the medical records in lay language, a diagnosis roadmap. So if someone just got diagnosed with something, whether it's simple or really complex, they would have sort of a roadmap for how to go along with it for wellness scenarios or common medical cases. A medical record wiki as well. Go along with a common story instead of starting from scratch, sort of like WebMD, but with real doctor information. Also, this is something that I would love to add eventually, is a remote doctor appointment. If you're not feeling well, or you don't know if something is, something is wrong, you don't have the money or the time to go into your doctor's office or hospital, it's a really great way to have kind of your doctor on speed dial. And then, of course, the closed loop team. This would be to have all of your doctors have the same information. This is the golden child of features. No product has been able to achieve this yet because it requires the doctor and the medical care side, the healthcare industry in on it as well. This would include bills, office appointments. You can email your doctor or their PA, but there has not been an all-in-one portal. But I feel like this is definitely one of the most important ideas in the medical tech world. And then I talk about some key takeaways I've learned. Medical care, super tricky field, a lot of red tape and around the operations and everything. But I took a direction here to put the power in the hands of the patient rather than the doctor. In a more advanced setting, the provider would definitely have input in the product, your insurance, and the doctor itself. I also learned about creating a prototype to include all buttons to be eventually be clickable. that way you can kind of get more accurate results from the participants, because the closer to the real prototype is to the real product, the better the testing will go. And then also, people are really critical and have a lot to say about their medical care system in general. There's a lot of skepticism around medical apps in general as well. But one purpose is explained. A good task flow or storyboard really demonstrates the product's importance, and then there's less feedback from the users, kind of like this storyboard I talked about earlier right here. So I really wanted to thank everybody again for taking the time to go over this project of mine. I'm going to be putting out more videos, hopefully more often in the future. If you want to continue this conversation, send me an email or visit my website, claritydesign.studio. It'll be in the description. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Keep it coming, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.